Hello, I'm Lori from thenovastudio.com, and I am doing my very first Facebook Live video. And it's a little nerve-wracking to make sure the settings are what they're supposed to be. Hopefully this is working. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm going to check my Facebook on my phone just to make sure that, that something's showing up, if I can do that. And oh yeah, there it is. So I'm just here in my basement in Ohio, and I've had some cold processed soap sitting down here for 2 months, if you can believe that. And it's a spearmint eucalyptus soap that I made in a private lesson with a friend. And it smells so good. I wish you could smell it. It smells, well, it smells kind of like gum, like spearmint gum. I did about twice as much spearmint as I did eucalyptus, and it just smells so clean and fresh. I absolutely love it. I have one of the bars in my linen closet so that it keeps my towels smelling fresh, which is nice. So I have these bars down here, and I would like to package up some gifts to give to Sammy's teachers. And the last day of school is coming up just in a couple days, so I really need to get these done and into a bag. And I thought, oh, this would be a good thing to just go online and do for my first Facebook video. So the bars that I had already cut them, and it was in a different mold than I've used in the past. So the shape is kind of weird. It's really big. It's about a 1 inch. And it's just kind of big and unwieldy. Plus, I only have 7, 8, 9, 10 bars. So I think I'm going to cut them in half. So I'm just going to use a knife, a sharp knife, and kind of eyeball it. Now, one of the interesting things that I could do with this, because it's almost a square, I could cut it this way, down this way, so that each bar has a little bit. This is a layer with activated charcoal, and it looks a little strange. I feel like it looks a little bit like a mustache on some of these. Looks like a strange mustache, but so I don't know if I want that to look that way. So if I cut it in half this way, then each bar will have a little bit of black at the top. If I cut it this way, then one bar will just be green with poppy seeds, and the other bar will be kind of green with a black stripe. So I'm not sure which way will look better. I've been trying to figure it out. If anyone is out there and wants to give an opinion, I would welcome that. So I'll go ahead and cut one, and then I'll try one the other way and see how it looks. And then I'm going to bevel them. I love beveling soap. I think it's fun, it's relaxing, and it's something that I enjoy doing. So here we go. Cut the soap in half that way, and then I'll cut this one in half this way. All right. So I either have 2 halves like this, which I think is probably the way I'm going to go with it, or I have 2 halves like this. This one does look kind of strange. It still looks like the mustache. So I think I'll go with cutting them this way. And in addition to a knife, you could also use something. This is some type of a soap cutter here. You put the bars in and just press down. So I'm going to go ahead and there we go. And I can't really see if anybody's there. It looks like just one person's on live. You can pop a comment in and say hi, because I can't really see who it is. But I didn't give anybody warning that I was going to be on, so I wasn't sure if it was going to work. So it's working, yay. All right, so I'm going to bevel these with my favorite beveler, and I'm not quite sure what this tool is called. It might be some sort of a woodworking or a leather tool, but I love it. It's my absolute favorite beveler. I got it from Soap Equipment a long time ago. It has leather around the center of it. Hi, Cassie. Hillary, hi. Penny, hello. How are you? And Margaret, hi. Okay, this is nice. I can see people when they comment, so that's really great. So I'm just going to go ahead and bevel this, and it's got two different sides here. It has a small side and a large side. So I like to take off less soap, so I'm going to go ahead and use the small side. And you can either push or pull with this. It kind of just depends what feels good to you. And you just hold it at a 45-degree angle to your bar of soap and just apply firm pressure. And then after I pull the corner off, I kind of run down it with my finger to get any little bits of soap off. All right, let's see here. Ah, Shannon, hi. Hi, Julie. All right, I'm just here beveling, so just wanted to say hi. I wanted to check out Facebook Live, which has been something that I've wanted to do for a long time, but kind of been nervous about it, you know. Have a little bit of stage fright sometimes. So I'm gonna just go ahead and keep on beveling. I tried to put a poll in with the Facebook Live, and I don't know if it worked, but see if you can see that poll. And the poll basically says, do you bevel your soap? For my soap maker friends who are joining today, do you bevel your soap? And you could add in the comments why or why not. Beveling, for those of you who don't know, I don't know if there's anyone out there who doesn't know. I guess it's a term that all of us soap makers are familiar with. But if you're a soap user and not a soap maker, beveling simply means that the corners of a soap that are typical with most soaps that you cut, they have this right angle, and that edge can be, I wouldn't say, well, it can be uncomfortable. I wouldn't say it can be painful, but it can be a little bit uncomfortable when you very first start to use a bar of soap and you're washing. That corner can kind of dig into your skin a little bit. And as a matter of fact, my husband really judges a bar of soap on whether or not it's beveled. I'll say, how do you like that bar? How do you like this bar? And he'll say, well, it was okay, but it wasn't beveled, so I didn't really like it. Or it had those sharp corners. So for him, it's a real must. For me, if I get into the shower with a bar that's not beveled, I'll just take my fingernail and just, you know, run it down and kind of pull off that hard corner. So that's something that you can do if you don't get a chance to bevel. You can also use things like a cheese slicer, a vegetable peeler, and they have fancy beveling machines that you can get that aren't, well, they're not really mechanical, but they just have a little edge and you just run the soap along, and it can be really fast to do it that way. But personally, I really like doing it by hand. I like the feel of the bars, I like to smell them, I like to interact with them, and it makes it enjoyable for me. But I'm also not producing hundreds and hundreds of bars of soap per day or per week like some of my soap maker friends are. So for some reason I can't see the comments unless I scroll down. So yes, Cassie, beveled soap looks so fancy, doesn't it? Yes. Hillary, you're saying, I think soap makers and woodworkers know the term. Yeah, probably for beveling. Yeah, woodworking, right? Yeah, Cassie says she doesn't have the patience to bevel her bars. I think some people just want to get in and get out and be done with it. And others want to linger with the soap a little bit more, and that would be me. So here's two bars side by side, pretty much the same bar, and you can see the difference of, this is the, it's weird because it's switched on the camera, that's a reverse image. This is the beveled bar, and this is the non-bevel bar. So can you see the edges? If I get them really, really close up there, you know, the edges are just more sharp. I think a beveled bar, this one, just looks more finished, you know, around the edges. It just looks more polished. It looks more professional, I guess. And the unbeveled bar, it's just a different look. Perhaps it looks a little more clean. I know that one of our teachers, Ruth, will not bevel her bars when she used to make and sell soap with Serona Springs. Oops, sorry, my light is doing something kind of funny here. And her soaps looked beautiful, and a lot of soaps look beautiful either way, but I think it's a personal preference, you know. I don't know if you can see the pole. You'll have to let me know, somebody, if you can see the little pole that I created with this. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to keep on beveling, and it's something that that when you bevel, you get these nice little bits and pieces, and you can use those. You can throw them in another type of soap. You could throw them in a melt and pour soap. You could throw them in a cold process. You can make a confetti batch with the little bits and pieces. What I used to do when we had the studio was we had a class that was that involved making tub teas and something called wash bags. And wash bags were a little muslin bag with some herbs and some scraps of soap that you bring into the shower and kind of rub it on your skin. And they're really nice to use. And so that was a good way to use the soap scraps from random bars that we would have in the studio. Now, I'm just beveling the main sides. You can also bevel the top. I might bevel these two edges, but if I bevel all the way around the top, my husband would probably prefer it, but it also makes the soap look a little bit smaller when you bevel it. So I think I'm going to leave the bottom edges and the top edges just so that the bars don't look so small. Again, it's a personal preference. Sometimes I'll do one way and one another way, and just basically see how they look, see which one I like best. But once I'm done beveling, then it'll be time to package it. And for this particular soap, I'm just going to put it into a little plastic bag. And my hands have lots of little bits of soap on it. So if you're going to be handling these bags, these are cello or different types of plastic bags, you want to make sure to get all the soap bits off of your fingers, because if you don't, then you're going to mess up the look of the bag. So these are nice, narrow little bags. We used to use these for soap pops at the studio when Debbie taught her soap pop classes. So I'm just gonna pop it in here. It works nicely for these skinny bars. These are kind of skinny bars. I just fold it over, and then I could just put a piece of tape on the back, or I have these really nice little circles that are just clear in my collection of stickers. And I'm just gonna pop it on the back. So that's what the finished one will look like, and I'll come up with some sort of a label or a tag to put on there so that the teachers know what it is. And again, this is a eucalyptus spearmint cold processed soap with some poppy seeds in there, and also some activated charcoal, a little bit of a layer there. The soap got really thick. I was hoping for a nice, even, a thinner trace with a nice, even line, but I was teaching and doing as I was teaching, and you know, stuff happens when you're making soap, right? Soap happens. So I ended up with a little bit more of an organic looking layer, a little bit, you know, funky, but that's okay, right? So Shannon said, oh, she loves the barb spearmint eucalyptus I sent home with you. Yeah, this is it, Shannon. This is that same bar. Love the fresh scent and light exfoliation. Yes, I've been using this as well. I did bring it in the shower, but it is currently living at my sink. I think poppy seeds are a nice exfoliant, but they can sometimes scratch the skin. If I'm in a hurry and I'm going really fast, you can get some red marks resulting from poppy seeds. So I really love poppy seeds as a hand soap. And so that's where I'm ending up using mine. But some people, you know, like it in the shower, and you know what you like. So definitely use it if you like a more intense exfoliation experience, or maybe for a foot scrub. Another type of soap that I might even make after I'm finished with this video is a peppermint pumice foot scrub. And I was also thinking about making that for the teachers at the school. It's a really good combination to do right during summertime. You know, this is the time of year where we're starting to, you know, put on sandals and show our toes again and show our feet. And I don't know about you, but my heels and my feet, I walk around barefoot a lot in my house, and my feet just get really, you know, dry and have a lot of dead skin on them. So in the shower, I'll use a pumice stone. And it's always something that you need to soap up first before you use the pumice stones. So I believe I've made a soap before with pumice in it, but usually I do that in a scrub. So I'm gonna do a peppermint or eucalyptus, kind of minty, fresh peppermint and pumice, melt and pour soap. And I'm gonna put a lot of pumice in there, not a little bit, but a lot. So it's gonna almost act like a pumice stone. It's the first time I've done it, so I'm gonna try it, and maybe that will be going to some of the same teachers and ladies at Sammy's school, or maybe it will go to different ones. I'm not sure yet, haven't figured it all out. But yeah, well, I think I've probably beveled enough for anybody who's interested in what it looks like to actually bevel. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this before it gets really, really too long. I wanted to say thanks for joining me to anyone who was here and popped in and posted a comment. It definitely feels better to know that there are people out there and I'm not just talking to myself. I really miss teaching classes in person, and I'm hoping that, you know, being able to do more videos will be a way of connecting and reaching people, but it's a little different. It takes a little bit getting used to, and I'm taking Donna Maria's advice of the Indie Business Network that video is really where it's at with your business to connect with your customers, and I know that. And I've known that for a really long time. So this is the first of hopefully many videos. If there's a video that you would like me to do or a topic that you'd like me to cover, feel free and post it in the comments, and I'll consider all of the suggestions. And I'm still setting up my basement room down here. I just kind of put a few things behind me, so it looked okay, but I have yet to put anything on the walls, so it's still a blank canvas, and I hope to do that pretty soon and get a little bit more comfortable down here. So thanks everybody for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.